Hi, I'm Roxy, and today I thought I'd do a little show and tell. I wanted to show you something that I created 20 plus years ago. This and this. It's not painting or drawing, it's actually Scratchboard. You carve into it with a knife. And I forgot how fun these were until recently. I was shopping with my niece and nephew, and I found that you now get rainbow scratchboards. So, being the cool auntie that I am, I bought each of the adorable little shits one. And it got me thinking, I'm sure I could make this digitally, like a digital version. And I have, that's why I'm making this video. And I think they're pretty cool. So, check it out. So this artwork that you're seeing now was made with the digital Scratchboard and brush that I created. It's compatible with Corel Painter, Studio Paint, Krita, Paintstorm Studio, Photoshop, Procreate, and Rebelle. And it's free for 1 week starting now. After that, I'll put a small price tag on it. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get it and how to install it, and I'll do a quick demo. I'll start off with some download and installation instructions, and then we can get into a demo. So you can grab this product from either Gumroad or CubeBrush. If you're watching this before the 28th of February, then just put a 0 in the field or another number if you're feeling generous, and click to get it. And you'll download the zip file that corresponds with whatever art program you're using. Or if you're an art program slut like me, then just download them all. You'll need to unzip the file or files to somewhere on your computer, and you'll end up with a folder containing the Scratchboard, the actual brush, and a little text file containing some installation instructions. Of course, if you're violently opposed to reading like my husband, then just watch on and I'll quickly explain the process for each program. After which I'll do a demo. And this video is timestamped, so you can go directly to the program that you're using or to the demo at the end if you want. So we'll start with Corel Painter. I've opened the riff file in Corel Painter. This is what you see when you first open it. And I've got some instructions here which you can hide or delete that layer. But to get the brush in, you're going to go Brushes, Import, Brush. You're going to navigate to where you unzip this file and grab Roxy Scratcher. Click Open. Once you've got your Scratcher brush, select the Scratchboard layer. I do explain this over here. Change your paint palette to black, and then as you draw, you're going to be revealing some of that prismatic underlayer. And if you want to erase, you set your paint color to white, and then if you go over those areas, it'll be removing the color and restoring the mask. Okay, this is Clip Studio Paint. I've opened the .clip file, and this is what the Scratchboard looks like. You can hide or delete the instruction layer. To get the brush in, you're going to head on over to your sub-tools over here, and you'll see there's a little hamburger menu. Click on that, click Import Sub-Tool. You're going to go to the Scratcher, roxyscratcher.sat, click Open. And once you've got your Scratcher tool, click on the mask layer. And this is a little different than the other programs. You're not painting with black, you're switching to eraser mode. I think by default that is you press C once you're on the brush tool. And then you'll be erasing this mask away. And press C again to toggle back to brush mode, and then if you paint, you're going to be restoring the mask. Okay, here we are in Krita. I've opened the .kra file, which is our Scratcher board, and you've got your instruction layer, which you can hide or delete. To get the brush in, you're going to head on over up to Settings, Manage Resources, Import Resources, and then you're going to head on over to where you unzip the file, grab roxyscratcher .bundle, click open. And then if you don't immediately see it, just do a little search here in this little field. Just type Scratcher, and here we go, Roxy Scratcher. Then what you do is you're going to click on the mask layer. Make sure your paint color is set to black. And as you paint, you're going to be revealing that prismatic layer. And if you switch over to white and then paint over it, you're going to be restoring the mask. So that's kind of like erasing. Okay, here we are in Paintstorm Studio. I've opened the .pss file. This is our Scratchboard. And we've got our instruction layer, which we can hide or delete. To get the brush in, go to the brush category where you want to import your brush. Click the gear icon at the bottom of the panel. Click Import Brushes. Click Add. And then find your Roxy Scratcher.pst brushes, which will be where you unzipped it to. Click Open. Once you've grabbed your brush, you can click on the mask layer. Make sure that your color is set to black, and you can start drawing and revealing that prismatic layer. If you switch over to white and draw over it, then you're actually going to be erasing or restoring the mask. Okay, we're in Photoshop. I've opened our PSD file. This is our Scratchboard, and we've got the instruction layer, which you can hide or delete. To get the brush, head on up here to where the brush icon is. Click this little downward pointing arrow, then click the gear, and then click Load Brushes. Grab Roxy Scratcher.abr, where you unzip the file to. Click on Load, and then if you head onto the bottom of your brushes, it's going to be right here, Roxy Scratcher. Then you'll click on the mask layer and make sure that your color is set to black, and when you draw, you're going to be revealing your prismatic layer. If you switch your color to white, it's going to be like erasing. You're going to be restoring the mask. Alright, here we are in Procreate. What we're going to do to get that brush is we're going to click on the brush tool and then decide which of the brush categories you want to import the brush into. Click on the little plus in the top right corner. Click Import and grab Roxy Scratcher.brush. You grab your brush there, and then in the layers you can hide or delete the instruction layer. Make sure that you're on the layer mask. So once you're on the layer mask, make sure that your ink is set to black, and then you can use your Apple Pencil to start drawing and revealing that prismatic layer. If you switch your color to white, then when you draw over it, it's going to be erasing or basically restoring that mask. Okay, here we are in Rebelle, and I've opened our .reb file. What you want to do is click on the pencil category. Where it says pencil brushes, click the hamburger menu, click Add Group. It'll be called My Brushes. You can rename that to something, or if you already have a category where you want to import it into, just click it, make sure it's blue, and then head on over to the hamburger menu again, import brush preset. You're going to need to navigate to where you unzip this to, grab Roxy Scratcher.rebelle brush, click Open. It'll appear here. Once you've got your brush, in the Layers panel you can hide or delete the instruction file. Click on the mask layer, make sure that your paint is set to black, and then you can start drawing and revealing that prismatic layer. If you set it to white and then paint over it, you're going to be restoring the mask and basically erasing. Okay, so just going to do a quick demo. How I like to proceed is I start out by very, very lightly marking off the basic contour of what I'm drawing. If I were doing this on actual physical Scratchboard, I'd lightly mark off what I wanted to scrape with a pencil beforehand, And I could do that here too. I guess I could create another layer above, do a light pencil drawing, and then use that as a guide. But I don't really feel it's necessary. This is digital already, so I can undo, and I can also at any time switch my paint color to white to erase something if I don't like it. So the first step for me is always to get that basic size and shape down very lightly, and then I can start making bolder, more confident scrapes on top of that. Before I started, I also did a little prep work. I looked at a whole bunch of hermit crab pics, and I have a handful of pics still on my second monitor as I'm working. I'm not copying any particular picture exactly, but I couldn't find the exact angle and shapes that I wanted, so sort of winging it. But then it's not a difficult thing. It's just a shell with legs if you think about it. In 2006, when I was on honeymoon in the Seychelles, I saw real hermit crabs for the first time in my life, and my family can testify that I absolutely love sea creatures. I love all of God's creatures, actually. I mean, except mosquitoes and termite swarmers. They can burn in hell where they belong. But I've always had this fascination with sea life. And I got so excited when I found these hermit crabs on the beach. And just in order to look at them for a while, I caught a few and I made a mini aquarium using a fridge drawer that I borrowed from our chalet. So I had sand in there and water and seashells, and I put this hermit crab in there. And the most amazing thing happened. He went straight to one of the other shells, popped his butt out, and plopped it into a new shell. I mean, it's not every day you get to be a real estate agent to a hermit crab. I took a photo of him in his new house before I let him go. Here he is. He looks a little small for the shell, but I guess that's the point. He'll grow into it. And that's why you should never take shells from the beach. A hermit crab may want to upgrade to a bigger apartment. Back to the drawing. I'm trying to think about what tips I can give you. I can think of two. The first is to remember that unlike a typical drawing where you're drawing the shadows, here you're drawing the light. So pay close attention to the light source. In my case, I'm not really using reference, but I've decided that my light source is in the top right corner. So I'm thinking about that the whole time. So where I think the light is hitting, I make the lines a little thicker and closer together. And the parts that I think are in shadow, I keep the lines faint and skinny and far apart. The second tip I can give you is that unlike a normal pencil drawing where you might shade with the flat of your pencil, here you're actually trying to simulate a scraper board, which means you need to use lines to indicate gradations between light and dark. And if you don't have much experience with that, it can help to imagine whatever you're drawing as a 3D mesh and try to curve and direct each line you make to show off that 3D form. So on the shell, for example, I'm not using straight lines. I'm curving the lines to wrap around the shape of each bubble. Okay, I think I'm almost talked out, so I'll show the rest as a time lapse, but I do just want to mention that these scraper board files are 3,500 pixels squared. So that means that if you make something nice and you want to get it printed, you could easily get it printed at 300 millimeters squared at 300 dpi. Also, if you upload your digital Scratchboard art to social media, I'd love it if you'd tag me so I can take a look and give it a like. And I guess I'll just end by saying thank you to my dear patrons. I appreciate you so much. You can also find this product in your Dropbox treasure trove. And to the viewer, thank you for watching. Much obliged if you like and subscribe, comment or share my videos. It really helps me get past that vindictive algorithm. Until the next one, God bless.